Welcome back. We're back. Working on LEMMY still. Yep, more bits have arrived for the fuel lines. I think we're just full steam ahead now. We're trying to, at least in the next 3 or 4 episodes, we're going to try our best to get it started. My glasses are steaming up. So yeah, lots of little jobs still to be done, as you know. So we'll just crack on. I've got some fuel lines to tie. I haven't got all the fuel lines yet, but they've got quite a lot of the fittings turned up. We got the back of the car up. We need to get the front up now as well, because we need to finish off the fuel mount or fuel tank mount, try and get that steady. I'm thinking I might be missing where the fuel pump goes on. I think there's a rubber gasket that goes underneath it, and I don't think that's on here. Let's have a look. No, that's not on there. So yeah, need to, not the end of the world for testing. We can be all right, but yeah. And I also need to find a little filter for the end as well. So again, not absolutely critical, but we don't really want to block the pump up. The good thing is that I can see that the tank is pretty clean inside. We still need to block up the fuel level sensor as well, or actually put a fuel level sensor in it. So yeah, lots of jobs to do. So let's get the front end up on axles and have a look at the fuel tank mount. Let's crack on. I got distracted before I started doing the fuel tank. I just checked my some hose fittings that I've got. I just bought a kit, 3 meters. I don't know if it's going to reach the front, but we've got a fuel filter to fit in as well. I've got this from a company called Torx off eBay. They're pretty damn good delivery wise. I ordered it 11 o'clock, arrived 11 o'clock the next day. So the other fittings aren't, but some of them are, some of them aren't. Change my mind sometimes, but normally go with these because yeah, good delivery. Here comes a plane. Okay, we got the car off the floor. It can stay there for a while now until we get it running. Gives us a chance to get underneath and get all the pipes sorted. Just mucking about with this big header tank that I found laying around. I'll try and find a slightly squashed one, but that's the best one I could find. But I just opened up the plastic holes a bit. They had a little bit of restriction in there, but cone drill through that, and yeah, 19mm hose fits on. So I think that's going to be a nice big fuel tank. We'll fit that. Or 3D print a little. Don't even know what these are for. They must have been for something. But yeah, that can go down in there. Nice big water tank. But we're right about that. Now we can get underneath and figure out what the hell we're doing with the thing. So there you can see, I think there's like a little rubber gasket that's supposed to go on there. And we still need to pick the lock to get the cap off. There's a lot to do on this fuel tank. Short time to get there. Okay, we've come to the back of the unit here. Woo-hoo. Yes, that is a container for anyone watching. So, I've just dropped the fuel pump in just to make sure I knew where it's going. And it basically down to the front corner here. So basically we need this corner as low as possible and flat. That's where the fuel's going to go. So I'm going to get a bit of angle. I'm going to make up a bar that it sits on. Normally the Mini has this big strap going around it. And then I'm going to make a bit of angle, and I think I'll either put a stud on it or a nut that will go through that hole, so it will sort of slide on, and we can put a bolt on there, and then we can make it some sort of bracket near the top for now, and then maybe we can then get ourselves a Mini strap and reuse that. Oh, got to remember that we're round the wrong way, aren't we? So the fuel pump's going to go to that, yeah. Okay, so fuel tank's going to go in this way, Matthew. You idiot. If it's my family members watching this video, because I've blown up, could you please upload this video? Pizzas for tea, I think, if we make it that far. Okay, spot the difference. Yeah, had a brainwave, whether it's a good brainwave or not, but the tank wasn't quite fitting right, and I tried it in a few places. I thought, well, now I haven't got the intercooler pipes, I could swap it over to this side, but that wasn't working out because the power steering pump's a bit bigger this side. And so basically I sort of moved it more central, which allows me to sort of move away from the battery box area. Not that the battery needs to stay there, But then I rotated it 90 degrees thinking, well, why not? Because I realised I had to sort of, the way I was needed it tilting, I couldn't do it. So I thought, well, I can tilt it this way. Yes, now this tank is mounted 90 degrees to how it was in the Mini, but it's in the front and not in the back. And this is a completely different car, so it will do for now when we can sort out a slightly better fuel tank system, if we ever get that far. So that allows me now, the pipes there, fuel senders on the back, which is a bit tricky, but again, you don't have to get to that very often. Those pipes now can go down there to the fuel filter and out to the back of the car. And we'll make some sort of bracket up just to support the top a bit more. And I think that will do us. We can even go into the side of the battery box for now if we needed to. But it's quite a huge battery box. I think I can get away with a much smaller one anyway, because that's all obviously OEM stuff. And again, our big header tank for the water there, obviously looks like it can't go quite there. Didn't think about that. I think we can, yeah. That's enough room to get rid of the pipes there. So yeah. Woo. I'll get a quick video in before another plane comes over. I can just hear one left. So, one thing I've been worrying about is that on the, let me go quickly show you everything. Crankcase sensor in there for a manual is like, I don't know, whatever, 10 o'clock. And in between those two bolts, and then you've got the top one. Crankcase sensor on the automatic is further around. That's where it would be on a manual. That's where it is on an auto. So, what you've got to be critical of is the computer needs to know top dead center. And it does that by having a toothed wheel. If anyone knows, you have different size number of teeth, 32, 64, more, and then you have two blank ones. And that equates to top dead center. So the ECU know when it gets to a big gap there, it knows I'm at top dead center. I can then do everything else that I need to do. Some cars, the older things with mega squirts and stuff like that, it would use that to do all the fueling, batching thing. Sometimes modern cars have cam sensors, so actually they do a thing called sequential. Don't have to worry too much about that. The key thing is we need to know top dead center. So I was worried because I'm like, uh-oh, manual, going to be in a different place and whatever. So I used the adapter that comes with the automatic that comes off the crank, and I've put that onto here. And basically I marked top dead center. And so if we put that around to sort of how it would be in the car, we're at the back of the engine now. We're pretending to be the engine. Yeah, gearbox is on this side underneath. So sensor basically here, at whatever it is, 9 o'clock position. These will only go in one way. I'll show you in a minute, but they will only go in one way. You can get them all the way around and they just won't mount. The holes are slightly boop, boop, offset. So basically I marked on there where the gap was. Then I put this adapter, or the adapter plate, onto this one, because this matches the same stud pattern, and it wouldn't go in the correct way. And you can see here I've marked where the gap is on this flywheel. So basically what I'm saying is on the manual flywheels, they've removed it because they know that the gearboxes are different and the sensors are in a different position. So, yeah, so that's where the sensor would be, but actually it's there on this. So we're good. Get this whacked on. I don't know about my Porsche clutch. I think I'm just going to throw it on and see if it actually works. If it doesn't, the key thing for getting the car started is having the crankcase sensor. And it's now starting to rain, so I'm happy with that. I can sleep better at night. My ECU guy told me it would be fine anyway, but you know what we all like sometimes. Right, just doing some fun stuff. So we've run the pipe down. Obviously haven't properly run it anywhere, if you see what I mean, but trying to get the length and hoping that the 3 meters would go all the way to the front. And quick, there's a plane coming. So that goes under the car, runs the original place where the mini fuel lines are. Again, need to be connected up properly, you know, it's not strapped up. And it comes up to here. Christ, nearly all the way to match. But we have got a filter that's going to go in the way, so I'm thinking of bolting that, make a bracket to that, to the bulkhead just up there. And we'll have a short bit. I've ordered up some AN fittings that hopefully will clip onto here. You can get them, they're like quick release clippings, but AN fittings. So that would be cool. I'm not too sure. I think I'll just run another pipe, but part of me then says I should reuse the mini return hose really, but it is all plastic and can be a bit of a pain in the arse. I could use that. That's the feed, but that might Let's go try that.
No, I wasn't lucky. I thought that might have just clipped onto there then. But it didn't fit in. So actually the fittings I've ordered might be these ones anyway, so I might have to see if I can get some. Oh, no. Anyway, for testing purposes anyway, we can just push the pipes on and put some double G clips on the high pressure side. Okay, so crankcase sensor, that's all plugged in now. Cool, we're just starting to put some earths on. Not getting near starting it, guys, just doing a bit of housekeeping. I was worried the other day, I saw the air boxes had these sensors on the top or something, which these all plugged into. I found an air box, he wanted 80 odd quid for it, and I was like, oh, it's still missing a bit of the pipe. I've got an mat sensor which plugs in, just need a pipe to actually connect it to, don't need an air filter for now. There God. Oh, pardon me. There God. Yeah, did some research, found out, I saw some part numbers, Googled them, and there are ignition amplifiers. Looks like they're supposed to be on a heat sink, or that's where on the airbox to try and keep them cool. So I think we'll try and mount them to some aluminium. But basically I ended up just picking up a pair, brand new ones, top brand, obviously they were decent make. Thinking, well, why buy I don't know. Sometimes I've been caught out by cheap stuff. But you buy a second-hand airbox, how do I know it's going to work? But, so that's another mystery solved, which is good. Good. And, yeah. I think the plan is, we've got the whole iron loom, so we're going to just plug it all in, try and connect a battery up at some point, put the ECU on and see if dash lights come on and see if the key starts. Once we get it all running, we can then cut it back. There's lots of bits and bobs that you can remove off the engine as well. Yeah. All right, I was just running the clutch hose pipe. I had a bit of a copper nickel or whatever it is, you know. I always say copper, I don't mean copper, I mean the proper brake pipes anyway. Although, to be fair, I suppose it'd be all right for clutch. Here comes another plane, so we need to get on. Yeah, I've got some friends hopefully making me a bracket. That'll come soon. That will mount. I've got a bulkhead fitting. There. Yeah, bulkhead fitting there or something like that. Might actually go there, actually. And then flexi hose onto the solid pipe here. We'll put a little bracket on the gearbox. So yeah, I think one of the things to do in the next few videos is take the exhaust off, weld them up. While the exhaust's off, we're going to have to try and take the gearbox out. I'm hoping I can leave the engine in place. And we either slide the gearbox so far back we can actually get to the clutch, which I need a clutch alignment tool, I think, otherwise I'm going to be here all forever. Get the clutch and the flywheel back on, put the gearbox back on. Won't worry about fluids or anything, just to actually start the damn thing. We should check if there's some oil actually in the engine itself, but we'll worry about that another day. Yeah, remind me of that before I start doing the first start video. Just go check the oil now, just to see if there actually is some in there, just so at least it's a arse protection. Okay, I just dug this out. This is a exhaust mounting bracket. Goes under the car, under the tunnel. There's some exhaust mounts that fit on there and there. I've taken them off. So I'm thinking of reusing this, putting this under, and then all the water pipes can go above it and actually maybe mount to it as well somehow. That can come on and off. But I'm going to sort of try and get it bolted up there for now because it'll help me just sort of rest the pipes up in the position I need to, which is a bit tricky. Under there! It's going to be quite hard showing you some of this. But basically, they're the MGF pipes. I think they mostly load flat against the thing, but I've rotated 90 degrees because they've got a slight angle on them at this end. And that allows them to poke up. I've put a bit of wood under there, so obviously there's space there. There's obviously room by the tank. We can just run around some pipes and do what we need to there. Now, they run under the car and we come inside here. And I don't know if you can see. Let me try and get you in there. No. Yeah. Basically, they're finishing about there, and which allows me to put 90 degrees on them to then run. We've got one to here, and one's got to go to the top hose. That's always a tricky thing with the rear engine cars, is the top hose. The pipe has to come down and back up again. So, lovely for airlocks. Okay, I've taken the old top hose off this one because it angled upwards and going up, and I swapped it for the other side, which was on there. And so it's sort of got a bit of a pig's tail on it, so it's sort of going down. Obviously, we're not going to come here. There's another plane coming across. We're going to cut this down and do things. So yeah, right, Alice, we're going to order some more silicone hoses, I think. Okay, I'm going to leave it for today. I'm going to have a think about it. I don't know whether it is worth rotating those pipes. If I rotate those pipes back, they sit higher in the tunnel, make the other pipes maybe easier to run. But I could always just chop the ends, rotate them 90 degrees, just weld them back on again. Or I'd cut and shut the other stuff, so I might end up doing that. But yeah, I've just put a couple of 90s on there, as you can see, spinning off to either side. Yeah, and obviously the length of the extra fuel line, which we can shorten. As you can see, I've just run it across there for the moment. All right, we're gonna wrap it up today. Oh, I think I need a shower. Looks like I'm all right, SAS. So yeah, thanks for all the support and all the comments. Hit the like button, subscribe if you don't, and if you want to support me anyway, check out the description. Plenty of ways to do it. We're getting closer. We're not very close to firing up, but we're there. Don't have to be really mucking about with the water wires. I'm just doing that while I'm thinking. But don't even need to finish the exhaust really. It's just basically the fuel line that's the important one. And so maybe next episode we can have a go. Why not? You know, we've got the other fuel pipes coming. As long as the charge coolers are connected up, the thing would start anyway. It just run a bit rough. I need to order a silicone pipe for the MAF sensor as well. And yeah, I think it's just a case of laying a whole loom in, see if the lights come up, connect a battery, see what pops, what doesn't pop, and oh yeah, gearbox off. So next episode, maybe I'll come down tomorrow. Next episode, we'll take the gearbox off, get the clutch on, flywheel on, get that all back on, and yeah. All right, too many things to think about. I've got loads of pictures, and we're gonna go home now and ponder and get on eBay and buy some hoses. Stay safe, everyone. Catch you on the next one.